Hello, new and old friends. My name is 242, and 42 brought me back some chilling photos. I have 5 different stories and pictures for you tonight. So be sure you're safe before you sit back and look at these photos with me. I was harassed by a demon as a kid. Before the photo, I like to read the post. This is my first time posting, but I'll try to make this short. In 2004, when I was 2 and lived in a trailer, my mom said I complained and cried about a tall, dark man that was out to get me. She said I would cry for hours on end about this man. She woke up once to me screaming in the corner and pointing at the window saying, "He's going to get me, Mommy! He's going to get me!" When she looked out the window, there was nothing. We moved out around 2006 into an apartment. I was about 4 now. I thought that my vivid visions of this man would stop, but they continued. This following part I remember vividly. I was in bed one night and kept hearing things outside my window. I was so scared, to the point where I wouldn't move. I looked over at the window and saw the same man staring at me. I got up and ran to my mom, and in her room, the man was now in her closet. She didn't see him, and when I turned around, he was gone. This torment continued for years until I moved to Tennessee and came back. It stopped when I was 12. Why it stopped then? I have no clue. But I recently came across this picture of my grandmother holding me back in 2004 in that trailer. Here's the photo. Look at that cute little girl smiling at the camera. Her grandmother seems proud of her. But do you notice anything? Here's the next photo. See behind her in the closet? It almost looks like a dog to me looking out. And here's the last photo, written by OP herself. It really is something covered in shadows. Whatever it is, it does send a chill down my spine. I woke up to find strange fingerprints on my bedroom window. So, of course, before I show you the photos, let me read you the post. As I mentioned in the title, I woke up and opened the curtains this morning to find a bunch of fingerprints on the inside of my bedroom window. They seem to be in sets of 3 fingers, one including what looks like a thumb. Neither me or my boyfriend remember touching the window, so it can't have been done in the evening either. A few things to note. The prints are quite low down on the window, below where my partner and I would normally reach out and touch. The curtains were completely closed, as usual, when we woke up. Also, there is a big old dehumidifier under that window right where the prints are, which would surely get in the way of anything trying to touch it. I don't know if this is relevant, but my partner and I both have frequent night terrors, which only started 2 or 3 years ago, a little while after we moved into the static cavern we're staying at the moment. There's been a spike in these recently. All in all, we are a little boggled and would love some input into what the heck is going on. Excuse the angle, it was hard to get a clear image since they faded a little bit. Here is the first photo. You can see at least 3 sets of prints with 3 fingers. and a little bit of a thumb near the bottom. Here they are, circled by OP so you can see them a little more clearly. Here's the last photo. I believe the prints on the far left is OP's to show you what their prints look like. Either way, they're all on the inside and it's scary. Our family dog came back to visit my mom. So before I show you the photo, let me read you the post. So Kuda, the best golden retriever that ever lived, died years ago. When my dad set up a trail cam to spy on a fox, he got this picture. It looks like Kuda is visiting my mom. My mom was her person. Here is the photo, and let me read you the rest. Kuda appears to be on the deck on the left side of the picture. On the right is my mom, who is bent over, leaning halfway out to the open door to the sunroom. If something was on the deck, she would have seen it 2 feet from her face. At this point, the whole family is convinced the picture is Kuda. So, what do you guys think? It really does look like a dog looking up at an old friend to me. Don't go for a cheap Air BnB. So this one, I'm going to read you the story before I show you the picture. The Air BnB. I'm staying at an Air BnB currently for a total of 8 days, 5 down, 3 to go. Due to the fact that I'm moving states and have spent almost all of my savings on moving vehicle rentals, vehicle registration, an apartment down deposit, and rent, I need to be quite frugal on where I'm staying before my apartment becomes available. I wasn't expecting glamour within this cheap Air BnB, but I also wasn't expecting my experience thus far. I am no skeptic to the paranormal. I've had my fair share of experiences. Perhaps you've seen my other stories. I've done much research on surrounding places I've been, and mostly blame my travels for my interest in these topics. Despite this, I've never had such a horrible, terrible, off-putting, and malicious experience ever. Background on the Air BnB. It is in a neighborhood that is rather woodsy. It is a studio-ish apartment with a separate wall to make somewhat of a bedroom. It is on the same block that the train tracks run through. Above your head, the bridge goes over the street out front, so the train is loud. Here goes. First, bad luck. Lots of it. Before I got to the Air BnB, but after I had reserved it, that's when it all began. The job I had lined up fell through. Then, 5 interviews later, I still got no job. Not to boast, but I interview well. I'm a pretty well-kept person and my interviews have all gone well. My vehicle, a 2018, is having mechanical issues. Luckily, under warranty, but still. My dog, who is staying at my parents' house, needed surgery 2 days ago. And the apartment complex pushed my tenancy a week due to repairs at very last minute, hence the Air BnB. Second, I have insomnia that I manage well, but I'm no good at sleeping through the night or falling asleep in the first place. But here, when I go to bed, this fog seems to fall over me and I fall asleep almost instantly. While I'm asleep, I'm cognitively aware that I am in fact asleep, but I still feel like I'm lucidly dreaming. and have strange dreams of the walls falling to the ground, leaving me lying surrounded by the furniture in a strange forest. The other houses are gone, but the train is still there. It feels so dark and intimidating when I'm asleep. Sometimes there's a dark cloud above me, just hovering inches from my head. And third, activity, experiences, events, whatever you want to call them. The floors creak when you walk. They've been creaking when I'm not walking though. The bedroom window opened by itself while I was asleep. I can feel someone behind me while I'm cooking and have my back to the room. But worse of all, the unexplainable. I have been touched, and not softly. The first time on my right leg, just above my knee. It was broad daylight, and I was folding laundry while standing next to the bed. I heard the creaking like footsteps. I ignored it. Then it happened again, only louder. I ignored it again. The floor creaked again, and then it happened. It felt like fast, hard pressure above my knee, and it scared the F out of me. I yelped and had no idea what just happened. That is until I looked at it when I took my jeans off that night. There is a clear handprint consisting of a thumb and 2 fingers. I have been touched 2 other times at this point, and it's been 5 days here. These instances have also left bruises on my other leg. I don't have the money to rent a different place for these last few days. I have to wait this out, but I don't know what to do. This feels different than any other experience I've had, and I'm thoroughly not okay with it. I'm crying just typing this out, and I'm at a loss to how to face this. And the experience has never before had this effect on me. So here is the photo, and yes, those are definitely finger-looking bruises, and that's crazy. So they've also got an update, so I'm going to read that as well. I thought I'd update y'all. Obviously, it's been one more day, thank goodness. I left yesterday night to hit a drive-thru and get some air. When I arrived back here, I stood at the front door for a good couple minutes, just kinda contemplating things and having a very strange feeling about going back inside and feeling like I needed to knock, like I didn't have the right to go back in. This was so off-putting. I went in anyway, of course, and went about my business, turning on some TV, and nothing happened until later at night. Laying in bed, I began hearing a tapping noise on the wall near the opening to the rest of the apartment. It felt like it was beckoning me over, and someone on here suggested I try to get some audio footage of it. Each time I got up and began recording, the noises ceased. The one time I caught the floor creaking and the tapping sound, when I went back to listen to it, the video had disappeared. Last night, I had the dream of the walls falling down again, and I tried to walk out of the perimeter of the building, and I couldn't. Like in my dreamscape, my foot couldn't cross the threshold. Then, as a train came by the apartment, I woke up and looked around me, and I had thrashed around the bed so much that the covers were thrown off and most of the pillows were on the ground. I have never moved like that. I generally wake up in the same position I fall asleep in. So strange. Also, I've misplaced some of my things. My hairbrush is nowhere to be found, my glasses are missing from the case, and I haven't found their whereabouts yet. But what's bothering me the most right now is the hand towel hanging on the oven handle. I haven't used it but once or twice, and it's been perfectly white. But today, it looks like someone with very dirty hands rinsed them off and dried them, leaving a blackish, brownish, dusty stain on it. And that's the end of it. They said they have left the B&B, and everything seems to be fine now. Please help, need opinions. Here's the last photo, and I'll show it to you first. Now, it doesn't seem that scary, but let me read you the post. I live by myself and I moved into a new place. It used to be a hat shop a long time ago. Next to where I put my bed, was carved in the wall. I just got back from the grocery store and new carving was under it. I'm very nervous. I've always slept with lights on. My therapist says it's a me issue, but all my doors were locked and the only person with access is my landlord. I don't know. I guess someone else's opinion will maybe put me at ease or give me guidance. The scratches look new to me. I'd love another opinion. I'm thinking about buying a camera on the off chance someone is doing this to me. But I live in a very nice neighborhood for a change, and I find it unlikely. So, what do you guys think? Is someone messing with OP, or do they have another problem? So, that is all the photos and stories I have for you. Leave me a comment about what you think of any of these photos. 42 worked hard to find these for us, and tell me if you'd like to see more. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and make sure it feels it. If you want to hear more, then subscribe and turn that bell to all notifications. If you like some extras, then check out my Patreon, or even if you just want to buy me a coffee, the link is in the description. Come back Thursday to hear my day stories, found for me by 2. Have a good night.